What's going on, everyone? It's Saad. Now I've made over $47,000 in profit in October. I did this as a one-man agency, whatever you want to call it, and I achieved this purely selling sales systems for a variety of companies that I consult with. Typically, they spend about $15,000 to $20,000 to acquire one single client. So in this video, I will show you exactly the sort of systems you could sell them for about $8,000 to $10,000. So if this is something you'd be interested in, stay tuned. So I have a little whimsical here that I just whipped up, and it has the project scope and the description. So we're just going to read through the description together. I want my sales team to drag and drop a lead list scraped in Apollo. Then the system automatically validates the email scraped, cleans the company name, important, and does the personalization using GPT-4 or Claude. From there, sends the leads to instantly automatically. So just from reading this is pretty straightforward, but just for the purpose of this video, we're just gonna scope this project together. So the first thing we want is we need to watch a Google Drive folder where the sales team is gonna drag and drop a lead list. So I'm gonna click on this plus button, and then we're gonna add a rectangle. We're just gonna click watch Google Drive folder. And then the next thing we want is we want to watch the lead list that's going to be added there as in Google Sheets. So we're going to write fetch leads, fetch Google Sheets leads, because typically the lead list that you're going to scrape is going to be a CSV as in Google Sheets. The third step is going to be validating the email. So we need to make a request to any API like, zero bounce or mails.so, zero bounce mails.so. And then only if the email is valid, then we're going to use our step-by-step personalization that we use here in my process, and what I personally use for all my clients, which is scraping each lead's website page and then feeding it to GPT-4 or Claude, which is extremely powerful when done at scale, when you essentially build a cold email system from scratch. So we're gonna copy this arrow right here, and then we're gonna write if email valid, then we will if email is valid, then we're gonna clean company name, and then once we clean the company name, we will scrape website data. Once that's done, the next step will be send to OpenAI for personalization. And then once that's done, we're going to add to instantly. So this is pretty straightforward. It's going to take us like 20 minutes to build this flow, because I've built this sort of flow for like 10 to 15 times already right now. So we're going to use a platform called make.com, and make.com is basically just a platform that allows you to connect different apps. You can connect them using their initial built API, or you can use the already built-in app here. So we're just gonna look for Google Drive, and then we're gonna click on watch files in a folder. Gonna add this clock emoji, and this is just easy, straightforward. I have a new scenario here on Make that I went in. I clicked on scenarios, and then I clicked on create new scenario, and then I'm here in this page that I just named it high ticket system YouTube build. So Once we have the Google Drive here, watch files in a folder, what we need to do is we need to prepare our lead list. So I have an example lead list that I ran not so long ago for a client, a consulting client. And all of this are first name, last name, company name to be cleaned, title, headline, and LinkedIn URL, email, city, states, and all of that. Typically, when you scrape a lead list, you're gonna have all of this information already ready for you. So what we need to do is we need to drag and drop this lead list in the Google Drive that we want. So I have here an example folder that I named YouTube Builds Example Clients, and then we need to drag and drop this in here. So let's just look for this lead list. LinkedIn Sales Navigator, example lead list. All right, so I'm just gonna have a new tab in here. I'm just gonna click on my drive, YouTube Builds, example clients. So we have the example clients already here. We're gonna go back to make, and then we're just gonna update our connection. It's going to be this one, I believe. And then all file types to watch, we're just gonna use spreadsheets, and folder is going to be YouTube Builds. Click on the plus button and click on example clients. And for the limits, just put 1. Click OK. And then let's just run this once. Nothing is gonna happen because the lead list has already been dropped, and this module is gonna run every 15 minutes. So if I actually click on run this module right here, choose where to start, we're gonna see the lead list dropped in here, example lead list. We're gonna click OK and then click run once. So we have here the lead list that just dropped. And then, so the next step is going to be add in the next module, which is going to be Google Sheets. So Google Sheets, we're gonna find a module called search rows. I'm gonna add this in here, update the connection, just like always. And then just for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna hard code the file ID. The file ID is basically going to be this one here, file ID, or the file ID in the Google Sheets, which is /D. You can just copy this or copy the other one. Just gonna copy this, and then we're just gonna hard code it here. Spreadsheet ID. I'm gonna click map, paste that in here, and then sheet name is going to be sheet 1. You can hover here and see that it's named as sheet 1. And then for the limit, I'm just gonna put 1 because I don't wanna run like 2,500 results. So I'm just gonna run this module only. And we have an error because I believe, yeah, we need to update our connection. So let's see, maybe it's this one. Yeah, okay. So just run this again. Click OK. We have another error. Let's see why. Maybe we need to update our connection. Oh, we have the slash here. My bad. Click OK. Run this module only, and then we have a success. So now we retrieved all the information, basically first name, last name, company name, headline, LinkedIn URL, email. Okay, sweet. So the next thing we want to do is we will have to now make a request to Zero Bounce or Mail.so for the email validation. So I'm just going to use a platform called Mails.so, which is very, very straightforward. They have an extremely easy API to use. You're just going to go to the dashboard and click API, and then you're going to find the instructions here. And essentially, you have to make a request to this address and change the example at example.com to the email that you have. So we're just gonna click on our make scenario, and then we're gonna choose the module HTTP, and we're gonna look for make a request. So essentially, we're just gonna make a request to this URL right here. So we're gonna copy this URL, and then the method is going to be get, because we're retrieving when we are calling this API, we're retrieving the status code, which is going to be either 200 or 400 depending on the results of the email. So we're going to change this email right here to the email that we have, which is going to be email. And then for the headers, which are extremely important, it's going to be our API key. So our API key is, first of all, we're going to copy this header right here. Copy this, X mails API key, paste that in name, and then you have to go to API keys, and then you should not be exposing your API key. I'm gonna rotate all of this shortly after the video. So you just have to click on new API key, click private or public, and just give it a name. Once you do that, you're gonna have a code like this, which is your API key. You're gonna copy it and then paste that in the value, and then click OK. So I'm just gonna test this email, like hard code it, because I believe it's the best way. I always recommend you guys hard code the same thing every day, same hard code the information first, and then try to run the module with the map data afterwards, just to make sure you just to make sure you validate that the flow is gonna work. So click on run this module only, paste the email, and then we're essentially making a request right now. So status code is 200, data, we received the data that's in JSON, so we need to parse this JSON using a module called parse JSON. And essentially what it does is just retrieves the information and makes it in a beautifully formatted way, so you can just retrieve it easily. We're gonna click on parse JSON, add that in here, and again, we're gonna hard code the same thing. Run this module only. Oh, we need to add it first. So we're just gonna add it here, and then click OK, and then we're gonna run this. And then we have the data, just like I told you guys. Data is going to be ID, email, domain. This email is not valid, so this is why we have results unknown, because no connect. So now we're gonna remove the information here and actually map the data that we have from the make request module. So the next thing we have is we need to, so essentially we managed to build a flow that validates the email. The second thing is we need to scrape the website data, but this only gonna work we're only gonna scrape the website page only if the email is valid. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add a router, and I'm gonna explain shortly why. So since we want to scrape a website data, not every URL is gonna work. Sometimes the website is on maintenance. Sometimes their website doesn't work. So we need to have a router where if the website works, we will scrape it. If it's not working, we're just gonna use the original information that's already in the Google Sheets / the lead list. And the way we do that is typically when you make a request on a website, sometimes it's a timeout, sometimes it takes like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We'll have to add like a module called resume, I believe, and it's this one right here. And then you have to link it to the make HTTP requests right here. Sorry, I lied. You have to link it to the make a request when you make a request to the website when you want to scrape it. So we're just gonna go and we're gonna add the make request, and then we're gonna link this right here. And then this is our usual flow, and then we're gonna copy this router right here, and then bring it right here, and then we're just gonna auto align this because it looks ugly, And then we'll have a router right here that basically takes in this information. If the website works, we're gonna send it to OpenAI to do the personalization. But first of all, we need to figure out a way to make a request to the website. And the way we do it is we retrieve I believe we don't have the domain here, so we need to use a split formula here in Make, which is pretty easy. So we're just gonna map the email. And then we have this email right here separated by @ So the way we split this is we use a split formula, which basically just splits a data based on a presence of something. So the presence here is an @. So based off a presence of an @. And then we will retrieve the second element. So this is 1 and this is 2. We want the second one. This is domain. So we're gonna write get. So we're just gonna get. We did split the data, but now we're getting it. And then we're gonna get the second one. Obviously, we shouldn't forget to add the HTTP here because we're querying a website, and then click OK. So I'm just gonna copy an email here, for example. I'm just gonna copy this email, and then we're gonna make requests and click OK. All right, so we have a status code 200. This is the data. Basically, this is all HTML. So the next thing we need to do is we need to use a module called HTML to text. And it's basically just gonna take all the HTML and convert it into a text that it's easily digestible for GPT to essentially understand and turn the HTML into a nice, high quality personalization. So we're just gonna map the data right here, click OK. And then we need to make sure that we have a filter right here, because like we discussed, we're only going to make a request. We're only gonna do the personalization if the email is valid and the website is also valid. So we're just gonna click here, and then label is going to be 200 website is working. The condition is going to be data exists, and click OK. So this router here is gonna run when the website is working. So we're just gonna take the HTML and then we're gonna parse it. And then what we will have is first we're gonna take this data, and then we're just gonna copy it because I like hard code in it, like I said. We're gonna go down. All right, we just have to do it manually. And then we're gonna copy it, click Control-C, and then click on the HTML, remove the data, and then click OK. And now, if you run this, you're gonna see we have all the HTML as in text, which is good. Now, we're gonna remove all of that and then remap the data. And then the next step is going to be cleaning the company name. So we're gonna use GPT-4 for this. GPT-4, create a completion. And then I am gonna give you guys the exact prompt that you should be using. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just copy what I do. And this is the exact prompt that I use for my clients whenever I'm building this sort of system. So you can just feel free and copy it. So we don't have to rebuild it from scratch, because this video is going to be like 2 hours long. So I'm just gonna look for it in my scenarios here. And then we're just gonna copy it. And then I'm gonna leave it in description so you guys can just use it. It's going to be validate. I believe this is the flow. So what we have to do is we will just take the prompt right here and copy it. Go to text content and first of all, we need to make GPT-4 identify as someone or something. So we're gonna do, you are a helpful, intelligent writing assistant, and then we're gonna click add message, click user, and then we're gonna paste in our prompt. And the prompt is extremely high quality. It's normalized the company name, so we're gonna retrieve the company name, which is company name, by focusing on its most distinctive and memorable moments, as it might be reflected in the company domain. So get split, we're gonna copy the same thing that we did. So email here, and then we're getting the second one, and the person's bio. So the bio is the headline. So sometimes a person will be like, hey, I work in this place or in this company name. And you feed it to GPT and it reads through it and see if the company name is, matched to their email address or the company name that they stated they work in their LinkedIn. Just to make sure we have an extra layer of personalization and accuracy. So bio will be headline. And then the goal is to identify the standard part of the name, typically the first noun, while discarding generic terms. Output a concise, casual abbreviation employees might use, respecting the original caps to provide only the final normalized results. Click for the completion tokens, we're just going to do 1,000 and click OK. We're just going to name this clean company name. So if you notice, I am building this sort of flow in a way where I don't do I didn't add the company name here or the personalization, just because it's going to be copy and paste. We're just going to copy the entire flow in here and then just paste it in here without reinventing the wheel. So once we clean the company name, so for example, let's just run this module only, and then let's hard code the information. We have email here, email. And then we have the headline, which is, where's the headline? Here's the headline. Click on the entire record. So this guy's headline is only its title. Interesting. And then company name is going to be company name, which is, oh, sweet. You see this Ulico Inc.? We don't want that. When you do your cold outreach, the company name should be Ulico, not Inc. Because if you send someone an email with the Inc., they know you just spam them with, and you're like sending this email to like multiple thousands of people, and you're shooting yourself in the foot. So click OK. And then as you can see, the result is Ulico. So beautiful. So the next thing we will do is we have to do the personalization. So again, I'm going to share with you guys the personalization that I use in my process. It is extremely high quality. You guys can just take that and tailor it to whatever your ICP is, your ideal customer profile, or whatever your offer is. Because typically people, when they run, personalization at scale, it's typically super cringe. It's just surface level observations, which we don't want that. We want an inference personalization. We want to make sure that the prospect, when they read their email, they're like, hey, this person actually did their homework. Which how we usually just get like over 30%, 35% reply rates. And basically every email that we send, like we send 5 emails, 2 to 3 emails actually get a reply. So that's extremely powerful. I'm going to click OK. And then the next step is going to be adding another model, which is going to be create a completion. And then we're going to click module. We're just going to try GPT. Let's just try GPT-4. I find GPT-4 a lot smarter than GPT-4o. GPT-4o can be a little bit dumb sometimes. But GPT-4 also is a lot pricier than GPT-4o and Mini. So click system, and then we're gonna identify this module as you are a helpful, intelligent writing assistant. Click add message, user. Again, I'm gonna give you guys the entire document with the prompts. So this is the prompts that we ran for a client that's basically they wanna target CFOs, CEOs of companies that don't have a CTO or CEOs as a fractional, CTO, CEO. So we're gonna read through this together. So craft a personalized two-line icebreaker for a high-achieving CEO, CFO of a growing B2B company with revenue between 10 million to 200 million. As you guys could see, this is extremely personalized. We essentially tell GPT, hey, this is the exact result that we expect from you, and this is all the information that you need to digest. Specifically in the healthcare, legal, accounting, medical service, manufacturing, financial services, or SaaS industries, use publicly available information to demonstrate an understanding of their potential need for efficient and versatile tech leadership due to rapid growth or scaling challenges. So when you do your brand research for a client or when you're doing cold email outreach, you typically need to understand the pain points of each client. And the way you do that is you try to match pattern your offer in a way that resonates with their pain points. And this is what we call targeting by pain, not persona. So instead of looking for job titles, you target companies that actually have the signals of the pain points that you could solve. When applicable, congratulate them on a recent achievement, growth, milestone, or innovation to show engagement. This is extremely powerful because sometimes companies, when we scrape their website page, you might find like case studies, past clients they worked with. They're essentially just, bragging about the work they did. So we can congratulate them. And we use a different lingo. We use like a specific tone, such as we use congrats instead of congratulations because it seems a lot more straightforward and simple. It's kind of like talking to a buddy in a bar. Then ask a question that relates to fractional CTO, CEO services by referencing their tech strategy, digital transformation, AI strategy, or desire for a better ROI on tech investments, digesting how these services could implement their existing leadership. Again, extremely personalized. Use direct, friendly, and professional language to spark a conversation about their tech strategy. Begin with hey, followed by a line break, and the two-line message. Do not include any other text or sign-off. So we're just going to copy this because we're not even going to do any testing or fine-tuning because I'm pretty confident about the results of this prompt. So the next thing is we need to click on add message user, and then we need to feed in the data from the Google Sheet to GPT-4 using a language called JSON. So just bear with me. It's super easy. You can just copy what I do. So we're going to click bracket, first name, and then we're gonna feed in the websites, the scraped website data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna name it websites scraped data, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 headline, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 title, and then what else do we have? Title, first name, website scrape data, and then I believe this is all we need. So let's double check. Okay, so city, lead address, headline, title, and the company name. 1, 2, 3, 4, company name. And then what we need to do now is just map the information. First name is going to be first name. Website scrape data is going to be text, I believe. Yeah, text. And then headline, you guessed it, headline. Click on here. Fortunately, with Make, you have to double click each time, which is annoying. But c'est la vie. We're gonna click on title, and then company name is typically going to be, we're not going to map the company name here because we have the results from the GPT, which is clean company name. We're going to map the results. We're going to add a completion token as 350, and then we're going to click OK. We actually forgot to add one thing, which is a filter to basically just filter the emails that actually are working. So when we make a request to the website, to the email, to check if it's valid, we need to make a filter which is email valid? And the condition is going to be result equals to deliverable. And then we're going to click OK, and then realign this, and then save anyway. We need to unlink this and add this clock here. And then we're just going to click OK. So again, first thing, we're limiting to 1. We're going to click OK, and then we're just going to click run once and test this flow. So we're making a request. We're parsing the JSON, and looks like the email is not valid. So let's just try a limit would be 5. So we're making a request again. First email is not valid. Second one is valid. So we ran the personalization. The result is React, which is an interesting name. So React Health. So now it's React, which I believe is going to give you much response rates when you run this flow and use this company name, because it seems like you've done your homework and you're talking like a real person, not a robot. So let's read through the personalization. So, hey Noah, congrats on the 2024 Zenith Award for React Health, truly showcasing your commitment to outstanding contribution in respiratory care. With the continuous launch of innovative products like the Luna Travel app and into the App TM, how are you strategizing the digital transformation to ensure seamless tech integration and optimize ROI for these investments? So, as you can see, this is extremely personalized, and it directly speaks to their essential business model in a way, and it also like uses their entire industry lingo and keywords. So when you use this as personalization, typically people, when they read these emails, they're like, this guy actually knows what he's doing. This guy actually did their homework. They went through my website. They understand my industry, and they can essentially get me results. So let's read the second result here. Hey Robert, congrats on the sustained growth and success at Capstone. So here, as you can see, GPT ran through the website and they found a growth milestone. Given your broad market presence across finance, do you find maintaining a balance between your existing tech infrastructure and new investment as a challenge? Our tailored fractional even might provide you an innovative solution. So this is extremely powerful, and especially when it's done at scale, you can essentially make the companies that you build the system for an additional $100,000 to $200,000, especially if they sell some sort of high ticket service to their ideal customer profile. So now what we need to do is we want to take this personalization and then we need to add it to Instantly. So there's really two ways. You can either like add it through the native module here, which is Instantly, and I believe it's add lead to a campaign. You can do that, which is extremely straightforward, or you can go to the API documentation. And then what you have to do is you just have to look for the introduction campaign, and it's going to be lead, I believe. Yeah, add lead to a campaign. And it's the same thing. I love Instantly's API. It's very straightforward. Typically, the APIs are super fucking annoying, pardon my French, and their API is just so easy. So it's either you're gonna use this method, which is the it's gonna take a little bit of time, and then you're gonna take this address just like we did with the mails.so, and then query this address using a make HTTP request, and then click the campaign ID, the API key, and then basically take in all of this information. And this information is essentially what we have here in the Google Sheet and the personalization. But just for the purpose of this video, because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, we're just going to use the native model. And then I have here my Instantly connection, which is, I believe, my process, RLS, the campaign ID. So I will just create a campaign here. we're gonna log in here, and then we're going to click add new campaign. Oh, we have to go to campaign, add new campaign, test campaign, click continue, and then we have a test campaign. So if we go back here and refresh, we're gonna see test campaign populates here. Test campaign. So lead email is going to be lead email is going to be this email right here that we queried. But before we do that, we need to make sure we map the correct email because we validated email. So before that, okay, so let's actually add the first information first, and then we're gonna worry about that later. So the first name is going to be first name. Last name is last name. Company name is going to be the clean company name. Sorry, not this one. The clean company name. Personalization is going to be personalization. And then phone, we don't care about phone. You can add your website, but I'm not going to do it. And click. And then we're just going to add something here just to make sure we have the proper data. So click on, So click on OK. And then we're gonna have to add a set multiple variable just to retrieve the validated email. So we're gonna click on set variable, and then what we need to do is validated email, and then the email is going to be this email right here, and then it's going to be get email, and then we're going to auto align this, and then the email is going to be this email right here. So let's run this again. Click run once. We're making a request, validating, email validated, we clean the company name, and then we have a status of total sent 1, leads uploaded 1, and block list 0. So we're gonna go here and then go to leads, and then we found the actual address in here. So as you could see, the email right here, the email provider, we have the contact, the company, the personalization, everything here. So we managed to add this automatically. So the next thing we need to do is we need to build a filter where the website is not working. So we're just gonna copy this entire system right here. Click copy modules. I believe, okay, there's some issue with the clipboard, but that's fine. We're just gonna click add, and then create a completion. We're gonna link this right here, and then we're gonna make this beautiful, because I hate when make just automatically align this. And then we need another module, which is going to be create a completion again. And then we're just gonna copy and paste everything that's in here. Again, we're gonna use GPT-4o, and then we're gonna copy this prompt right here. Model is going to be GPT-4o, and then we're gonna do you are a helpful, intelligent writing assistant, and the message is going to be user text, and then it's the same thing. Click OK. The next thing is we will copy the personalization, but now we're going to remove the website scrape data, because this filter is only going to filter, this router is only going to work if the website is not working. So we're going to use GPT-4 again. You could use Claude, GPT-4o. I'm just using GPT-4 right now. And click add message. System, you are a helpful, intelligent writing assistant, and then click user, text content, and we're just gonna copy this one here. And then for the add message, we're gonna click user, and then we're just gonna add X here because I wanna copy the information from here, and copy. And what we will have to do is we will essentially take the user here, remove the X, and then the company name is going to be the result right here. And then the website script data, we're just gonna remove it. And then sweet completion token is going to be 3090. And for the temperature, I think we forgot to lower it a little bit. So we're just gonna use 0.5 and double check if we lowered it in the first module too. Okay, so temperature 1, we're just gonna lower it to 0.5. Click OK. I'm gonna name this clean company name. Oh, forgot the E. And then the same thing, we're gonna get the email, and then we're gonna add a tools module, set variable, add it in here, and then get email. And then the email is going to be email. And then the instantly, again, pretty straightforward and easy. Add leads to a campaign. Okay, so again, we're gonna have to redo the connection. And then lead email is going to be get email, campaign ID is going to be test campaign. So essentially this campaign ID, just to give you guys a little bit of context, campaign ID is this campaign ID is this URL. It's app/campaign/ this address, this number here, and you can just copy it, you can just hard code it, or you can just use the you can just map it right here, whatever you like. So first name is going to be, again, first name, shocker, and then last name. Company name is the results, and the personalization obviously is going to be this one. And then click OK. And then we're just gonna save this and then auto align this again. So this looks fine, I think. So we're just gonna run this. Let's say, let's just do 30. And then we're gonna go to my Instantly account, and then we're just gonna remove everything. And then we're gonna click on delete. So we're gonna go back to our make scenario, and then we're gonna click run. We're gonna make a request, see if the email validates, and then since it's validated, we're gonna clean the company name, we're gonna add the personalization, we're gonna get the email and add it. And if the website is not working, now we added it through the next router, which is just taking the information from a lead list. So if we go back to our Instantly and refresh this page, you're gonna see all the leads getting added automatically right here. Perfect. So now it's running, it's validating the email. I'm just gonna put a warning. This system is not, you're gonna burn through a lot of operations on make when you build this sort of system or when you run the system. But keep in mind, these systems are used by 7 to 8 figure companies, well, sometimes 6 figure too. And typically the costs of, make.com and all of these softwares such as GPT-4 instantly is like 0.1% of the revenue they get from each client they onboard using this system. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna go back to our Instantly and check. So we see all the leads are getting populated in here, which is perfect. And yeah. So once that's done, as you guys could see, as email valid, So if the email is valid, equals deliverable, we're going to continue the flow. If it's not, we're not going to do it. All right, there you have it. Now you have an entire end-to-end sales system that you could sell for your clients for about $8,000 to $10,000, or you can implement it in your own business and achieve reply rates to 25 up to 30%. This system is extremely high ROI, and I would consider it one of the best systems in the world, not to toot my own horn. But yeah, I hope you guys found value in this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.